Oh man, I'll tell you, it's windy, windy, windy out here coming from the northeast. But check this out. Look at that surf, guys. That's from Tropical Storm Francine. Look at that. Man, there has got to be some 10, 11 foot swells out there. So I was parked over there, but the water came all the way up. So I'm parked right there now. Wow, man, there's hardly nobody on the beach, which is a good thing. I thought I was gonna pull out on the beach and there was gonna be people out here and people in the water. This is a dangerous situation to be in the water out here right now. Packery Channel, there's nobody on Packery Channel whatsoever. Look at that bulldozer in the water. But anyways, I've had a lot of requests on doing a video of how I keep my Jeep clean after coming to a beach, stuff I use to keep it clean and keep sand out of it. So we're gonna go over that right now. So the very first thing you wanna do, guys, when you come to the beach is you wanna find out which way the wind's blowing. If it's blowing from the northeast like it is today, then you wanna park towards the wind. You wanna have your doors open up towards the wind, which is gonna be a pain because they'll slam shut, so you need to be careful if you have small kids or anything like that. So park against the wind. The reason why is when you open this door like this, that sand doesn't have a lot of room to come in. But if you're parked the other way, that sand is just gonna blow all in your vehicle. So that's one thing that I always do, I try to do. There's some birds hitting the water right now, so there's a little bait. This tide's coming in right here. Oh man. Surf fishing ain't gonna be good today. But anyways, that's the very first thing you wanna do. All right, the next thing you wanna do is you wanna make sure you have some really good floor mats. Now you guys are gonna see my vehicle more than you're gonna see me. WeatherTech makes some really good floor mats, but if you don't wanna spend the money on them, you gotta make sure they have a lip on them so they catch all the liquid, the water, the sand, and everything like that. So get you some good ones. These are actually the ones that came with this Jeep are pretty good, but normally I'll run like WeatherTech or something like that, but these are pretty good, so I don't need to replace them. Also, you want to invest in some seat covers or seat towels. This is called a seat towel, where it goes on the headrest and it'll protect your seats. Now, I would prefer to have seat covers, but they're like $400 just for these two seats and then $400 for the back. All right, so that's how I keep my seats pretty clean. Now on the other Jeep, I had seat covers. I've spent so much money on this Jeep already. I can't afford seat covers, so we're gonna go with a seat towel. I've got one on that side too. Again, the floor mats, you need to make sure they have an edge on them that's coming up, so it catches all the water and everything, the sand and everything like that. So right here, you're gonna get a lot of sand as well in that area. If you don't kick your feet on the side, I always kick my feet on the side before I get in. I know a lot of people can't do that because you don't have that. So carry some extra water where you could just rinse your feet off if you want. If you got pets or kids, it's gonna be very, 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 very hard for you to keep sand out of your vehicle because we all know how kids are and we all know how pets are. So let me show you a good thing you could do if you have pets and kids. Again, we got the floor mats that are raised up on the edges so no water and no sand's gonna go over. This is what's called a pet seat cover, which hooks into your headrest, and it's waterproof and it's washable. I think I paid like $100 for this, maybe less, probably 80 bucks. I don't even remember, maybe 40 bucks. Really, I've bought so much stuff for this Jeep, I don't remember. But here you go, you see the back of the seat towels that I'm using. This is just temporarily, probably in another couple of months I'll have seat covers for the front and still keep this for the back. So that's how you're gonna protect the inside of your vehicle, guys. Right there. All right, on the back, if you have a back area in your vehicle, your SUV, then you wanna go with a nice raised mat like this one right here. This one's from Rough Country. Let me open it up so you can see. Right here. That way you could just pull it out when you get home, rinse it off, and then put it back in. Now, I carry a little brush like this so I can get the excess, you know, sand and stuff off like that, and kind of do it like that. Because you're gonna get sand in your vehicle no matter what. So if you come prepared, you can limit the amount of sand that you take home with you. And like I said, normally right here is where it gets a lot of sand. And sometimes on the doors, if you leave your windows open, you're gonna get sand, you're gonna get sand there. So carry your little brush. They make better ones than this. And also guys, when you're on the beach, never ever leave your windows open. Keep your windows and doors closed, because if you have one window open right here, that blowing sand that's blowing, you can't see it right now, but it's blowing along the beach right here, and it will blow right into this vehicle and all over this vehicle. Guys, that's a few things that I do to limit the amount of sand that gets in my vehicle when I'm out here. Now, if you're surf fishing, you're gonna get a lot more sand. Usually that's gonna come from your chairs, your coolers. I never set my cooler out on the sand, and all the other stuff. So let me show you something. When you guys got chairs and stuff like that, you don't want to dip the end of them into the water, because eventually it's going to rust the bottom part out. So you want to carry some extra water with you, so you just rinse them off with fresh water, never salt water. I've been through so many chairs, guys, it's unreal by just dipping them in there. So like I said, I never carry my cooler, I never set my cooler out here. It's always in the back here. Now, that's a good way to make sure that you don't get sand all over your cooler and then you get it in your vehicle. So anything that you put outside the vehicle, you need to rinse off before you put in the vehicle, or else all this sand's gonna end up in your vehicle. And basically, I use a really good wet vac when I get home, and I'll take my floor mats out and I'll rinse them, and then I'll vacuum and then put them back when they're dry. And that's how I take care of my Jeep. And I use Adams polish products, like some interior detail spray, and I'll wipe everything down. Now, some of you guys that have been watching this channel for a long time, hey, you gotta hush, I'm shooting a video. Some of you guys have been watching the channel for, why you gotta do that? Quiet. Anyways, some of you guys that have been watching the channel for a while know that I went camping one time and it was steady 50-mile-per-hour winds, and I had my top off my other Jeep. And when I woke up the next day, guys, just check this video out. This will show you what I woke up to. So I don't know if you guys know what it's like to be sandblasted for 4 or 5 or 6 hours. It ain't no fun. So other than that, my roommate, she seems to be having a good time, so all is well. And I guess we'll see you guys in the morning for, I'm gonna be making a campfire skillet breakfast.
I know you ain't doing this to yourself. Stop what you're doing and let him go. Pack up all your things when you're finally done. Call me up, sweet mama, we'll run.
Guys, I want to show you exactly why you don't camp in 30, 40-mile-per-hour winds. I was going to make a campfire skillet breakfast this morning, but I'm not even going to attempt it after seeing this. Check this out, guys. This is the camp. Woke up to this morning. Nothing but sand all over it. Nothing but sand all over the Jeep. It's about buried our fire pit. All up around the trailer. Come over here, everything's been knocked down, covered with sand. Look at her car. The worst, and then I can't keep this thing up worth anything. You can see how I got it strapped here. All the seats are just covered with sand. Look at that, blowing sand. Whole entire Jeep. All up in there. But this ain't the worst part. Look at that. Sand every freaking where. All up in my Jeep. Unreal. All over everything. If you're trying to limit the amount of sand that's in your vehicle down here, and you own a Jeep or a convertible, you do not want to have your top down, especially on a windy day. Normally down here, it's anywhere from 10 to 20 mile per hour winds that are usually coming from the southeast. So if it's coming from the southeast, that's why you see me park my vehicle front end towards the water. So if you have your top off on a Jeep or a convertible car, like a Camaro or something, you're gonna get a lot of blowing sand in your vehicle. Not as much as what you just seen in that video, but you're gonna get some in your vehicle. So you need to, you need to ask yourself if it's worth it to have your top off coming to a beach. I know it's nice, but you're gonna have a lot of cleanup when you get home if you do that. All right, what about washing it? As soon as you leave the beach, especially if you live like Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, you need to go through an automatic car wash and spray underneath that vehicle. There's one when you come off Padre Island going to Corpus Christi before you go to the JFK. Well, actually it's after the JFK. It's on the right side where it has an undercarriage spray. You want to get that sprayed off as soon as possible. I wouldn't wait till you get home all the way to Austin, San Antonio, or Dallas because the damage has been done. Now, you could go to a car wash. If you have a high profile vehicle, you can go to a car wash and just use the hose or the whatever it is, the wand, and you could spray all up and down there, but you're not gonna get it as good as unless you use water that's spraying up on it. Now, when I get home, I take the water hose and I get down there and I get up there and spray everything down real good. Every time I go to the beach, like when I get home now, I will spray up underneath there to make sure that I get all the salty sand off of it. That is what you need to do to limit the amount of sand that gets in your vehicle. So when you get home, you don't have to spend a full day detailing your vehicle. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you a few mods that I have bought for the Jeep. We got locking hood latches, the metal kind, which are good. We got a new bug deflector. We also have a new license plate. It says it's got beach 4x4 and all that goes on the front. I haven't put it on yet. We got a new roof rack to haul some of the rods, the 13 footers, as you can see right there. And we got a new locking gas tank, which if you have a Jeep, you need that. What else do we got? Oh, we got a new license plate cover. It says Jeep and shows the beach. Pretty cool. And that's about it. So that's all I could afford. Oh, we got these things here, but I'm thinking about painting them the trim of the Sea-Doo because I want this Jeep, since the base color is the same color as the Sea-Doo, I want trim on the Sea-Doo, the orange crush I'm gonna put on here. So I'm doing these orange crush for sure. But anyways, that's it, guys. It's not really that hard to keep the sand out of your vehicle if you just take some precautions when you come down here. Like I said, don't leave your windows open, don't leave your top off, and you'll have less to clean up when you get home. Especially if you're coming down here surf fishing, you don't really hang out, on the beach and swim and all that. You can limit the amount of sand that goes in the vehicle. You always rinse the bottom of your vehicle out. If that's the only thing that you rinse off, make sure you rinse the bottom. Even if you never go in any water. And make sure that you never, ever drive in salt water. I know some people like to drive right on the edge and get in the water. Don't do that. I made that mistake. And it's when I first came down here. I should have never done that, and we'll never ever do that again. Now, if you've watched Thresher fishing, you know his vehicle was all up underneath it, was underwater at the jetties, the South Jetty in Port Aransas, because the tide came in when he was out there fishing. And it was probably a year later he started having problems with his vehicle up underneath of it, I guess with rust and stuff like that. So make sure you never ever drive in salt water. All right, guys, I'm gonna do a little self-promotion here. Most of you know that I got my guide license for surf fishing and stuff like that. So on Patreon, there is a contest that's going on right now that gives you a chance to win an 8-hour trip. Now, that'll go on every month. So you always will have a chance as long as you're a speckled trout member. So take a look at our Patreon page. It's got all kinds of useful information like surf reports, beach reports. It also has footage on there that I don't put on YouTube. It has every species you could catch out here. It has information on what baits and stuff like that to use. So again, visit our Patreon page, like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as soon as the surf starts clearing up, guys, we will be back out here surf fishing. This time, a totally different way than what you guys are used to seeing me do. It'll be totally different, and I guarantee you we're gonna catch some pompano this season. All right, guys, stay safe. If you're in the path of this, what's gonna turn into Hurricane Francine, be safe, and we will see you guys next video. Peace.